Welcome back, students. As a series of Animal Kingdom, still now we discussed about the different phylums. That is, started from Porifera, Nidaria, Platyhelminthes, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, and Nematoda. And the next phylum in which we are going to discuss about in detail is phylum Annelida. So, what is the significance of this phylum, and what is the differences, and what are the new systems that are originated from this phylum? So that is we are going to see in this class. So what are the special characters? Here the special character which is not there in the previous phylum and started from this phylum, that is the formation of true coelom. The nematode, the previous phylum, that is pseudocoelom, but here onwards the animals are going to develop the true coelom, true body cavity, that is lined by mesodermal epithelium on both sides. So that is true coelom. So this is one of the character, and here in the functioning of the excretory system, it is also well developed. We are seeing the nephridia, well developed nephridia from this phylum, and the organisms exhibits different types of respiratory habitats also. So some organisms will respire by its skin in the process, by the process of simple diffusion. Some animals develops a special respiratory organs, that is parapodia. And here we can observe the ectoparasites also, that means leeches. They lay as an ectoparasite on the skin of buffaloes and with different cattle, and they will suck the blood from the organism. So we are having the ectoparasites also. And body is also divided into true segmentation, true segments, and we can call that segmentation as metamerism. What is metamerism? Already I explained in the basis of classification video. Metamerism is the true segmentation in which almost each and every segment contains the same organ. That means the organ is equally distributed in all the segments. That is metamerism. Here we can see the metamerism, and we can also observe the phenomena of homonomous segmentation. Homonomous segmentation. That means if the organism is this much, it is divided into equal segments like this. It is not like this is one segment, this is one segment, this is one segment, this is one segment. That is heteronomous, but equal in size and shape, that is homonomous segmentation. And the next phylum, that is Arthropoda, it is having the heteronomous segmentation. Body is divided into three segments only. Head, body, trunk. So this is how the difference between the homonomous segmentation and heteronomous segmentation. So these are the different characters, and we have the special organisms which acts as a friends of farmers. Those are earthworms. Here we can study about earthworms also. So as a part of the series of Animal Kingdom, we will see the classification of the different phylums, and then we will go to the anatomy and physiology of earthworm and cockroach separately. So now going into the details, we can see the classification as usual, the general characters of the phylum Annelida. We will see first of all the general characters of the phylum Annelida. So the term, first one, the term Annelida was coined by scientist, that he is Lamarck. And the meaning, second point, general characters. The meaning, what is the meaning of the name Annelida? That means body contains ring-like segments. Body contains ring-like segments. And what is the significance of the animals present in this phylum? The significance is these are exhibiting the true coelom that was we discussed earlier. Exhibiting true coelom. So this is the significance, most important significance of the animals present in this phylum. And habitat we can discuss as a general character. Habitat, that means what is the address, where they are present. These animals are present in marine waters, fresh water, and terrestrial, that means on the land. So all the three types of habitats they are exhibiting. Symmetry. So how many types of symmetry are there? Asymmetry, biradial symmetry, bilateral symmetry. So here these are exhibiting bilateral symmetry. That means the body is divided into two equal halves by only one axis, that is passing through the median sagittal plane. That means the body is like this. Only one axis through the plane, median sagittal plane, if it is passing, then only we will cut the animal into two equal or identical halves. No other axis. If you have this one as an axis, the parts will not be distributed identically. So this is how we can discuss here bilateral symmetry. And the coelom, that is the significance. Coelom, we are calling this as a schizocoelom. Schizocoelom. We already discussed what is schizocoelom, what is enterocoelom. This both together called as a true coelom. And schizocoelom is formed due to the mesodermal blocks. And the enterocoelom is formed due to archenteron pouches. This is blocks and that is pouch-like structures. But both are true coelom only. And the seventh character we can discuss here is levels of organization. Obviously, levels of organization, it is obviously organ system. Because from nematoda onwards, we are having organ system level of organization. And if you have taken the next character, number of germ layers. Number of germ layers, that is triploblastic, having three different layers. Triploblastic, that is outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, and inner endoderm. And the ninth character, that is segmentation. So what about segmentation? It is having, already we discussed this one, homonomous segmentation. Homonomous segmentation. And the next important point we can discuss here is, here we can observe the digestive system is developed. If you see the anatomy of the earthworm example, we can observe the separate digestive system, the separate circulatory system, nervous system, reproductive system. So many systems we can see here if you are dealing with the anatomy of the earthworm. So here the digestion is, as in the higher organisms, it is extracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion. That means the digestion occurs outside the cells. Because due to release of different kinds of enzymes, they will digest in the alimentary canal itself. No need to enter into the cell. So after the digestion in the alimentary canal, the digested material will enter into the cell and it will give the nutrition. So that is about digestion. And the next one is most important, that is respiration. In some animals that belongs to the phylum Annelida, they are exhibiting the respiration through moist skin. The skin will be moist by the process of simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. But in the some other animals which belongs to the class Polychaeta, they are having a specialized organs. Those are parapodia. These are the hair-like bristles which helps in the diffusion of gases. So this is one type of a specialized structure which is helpful for respiration in the class Polychaeta. We will see what are the classes and how the phylum Annelida is divided further. And this is about the some of the general characters, and the remaining we will see now. Now we will see how the circulatory system was developed in the animals of Annelida. Circulatory system. See here, this is also very important. The circulatory system here is the closed blood vascular system. Already in the introductory class, we had discussed the differences between the closed vascular system and open vascular system. Closed blood vascular system. Closed blood vascular system. So again I am trying to remember you the difference between the blood vascular system, open type and closed type. In the closed type, the blood will not go outside. It is completely travel entire body with the help of blood vessels. But in the case of open blood vascular system, from heart, at some times it will enter into the blood vessels only a limited extent. Again from that it will open into the spaces of the coelomic cavity. So blood is coming outside from the blood vessels. So that is called as open blood vascular system. But here the journey of the blood is confined only within the blood vessels. It will not come outside. So that is the meaning of closed blood vascular system. And the next system, that is excretory system. So what about excretory system of annelids? It is through the well developed organs, that is nephridia. Nephridia. These are the specialized structure which can filter the waste materials from the blood. Those are nephridia. And again the another one, nervous system. So what about nervous system there? Already we discussed what is a nerve ring. So here the nerve ring is circumpharyngeal nerve ring. So what it is? What is circumpharyngeal nerve ring? That means here, for example, this is one ganglion, these are the different ganglions, and these are connected and these are coordinated by the nerve-like structures which will be appear in the form of a ring. So this is called as nerve ring. And if it is the digestive system, alimentary canal, the nerve ring is surrounded the pharynx region. So that's why we are calling this nerve ring as a pharyngeal nerve ring. So this is a nerve ring, and circum means it will surround entire region. Which region? Pharynx region. So circumpharyngeal nerve ring. But another term, it is esophageal. Circumesophageal nerve ring. That means the nerve ring surrounds the esophagus region. That is circumesophageal nerve ring. This is about the nerve ring. And the next one, that is sense organs. So it has having different types of sense organs like eyes, tentacles, different types of palps, like this, and cirri. These are the different types of sense organs present in the animals of Annelida. And the next one is sexuality. These are having both unisexual, and bisexual. Both types are there. And finally, the mode of reproduction. How they will reproduce. This is completely goes through sexual type of reproduction, not asexual. And fertilization. Fertilization. Fertilization, it is both external in some group of animals and internal in some group of animals. So it is exhibiting both external and internal mode of fertilization. And finally, development. Finally, development. So it is having both direct type of development. That means no larval stages are involved in the process of development, and indirect. This is also there, indirect type of development. So some larval stages are there. So what are the larval stages here? Trochophore larva. Very important. This is very important larval stage in need point of view. The trochophore larval stage is present in the animals which are exhibiting indirect development. That means from embryo to adult, at least one larval stage should be there. So that development is known as indirect development. So here the larva is trochophore larva. Now we will go into the classification of the phylum Annelida. It is broadly divided into three classes. It is broadly divided into three classes. So this is the classification of Annelida. So what are the three classes? First class. So classes. The first class, that is Polychaeta, and the second one is Oligochaeta. Oligochaeta, and the third one is Hirudinea. These are the three different classes, and the classification is not much important according to NCERT. So here I am mentioning you the examples. So what are those? Example, Nereis. Nereis, the common name is sandworm or ragworm, clamworm, and Aphrodite. This common name is sea mouse. And the third one is Arenicola. That is lugworm. So don't confuse. There are roundworm, pinworm, hookworm. So many types of worms are there. Don't confuse. These are the three different examples of the class Polychaeta. And now the famous Oligochaeta comes here. So here it is having Ferritima. So what is Ferritima? Ferritima postuma, its complete name is. So what is Ferritima? This is the friends of farmer, that is earthworm. And Megascolex is also a type of earthworm. And we are having Cubifex. So these are the three different examples of the class Oligochaeta. And the Hirudinea, we are having Hirudinaria. This is mainly, this class contains leeches. So this is a freshwater leech. The leech which is present in the rivers, lakes, etc. Freshwater leech. And second one is Pantobdella. This is a marine leech. The leech which is present in the seawater. Marine leech. Hemodipsa. This is another leech. This is terrestrial leech. That is, it is present on the land. Terrestrial leech. So these are the, or we can also call as land leech. So this is the classification, and these are the examples with respect to different classes which are present in the phylum Annelida. So Oligochaeta mainly contains earthworms, and it is containing mainly the worms which are having more than 100 legs, like that Nereis, for example. We can see to that legs the specialized structures, that is parapodia, will be attached. So that is responsible for the respiratory process. And here the earthworms, why we are calling it as a friends of farmers, because it makes burrows and holes in the soil and makes that soil favorable for the aeration. So it is helpful, indirectly helpful in the nitrogen fixation, which is very important in the process of crop improvement. So the crops will be the land will be very fertile if the air will be aerated into the soil. And Hirudinea, these are the parasites, mainly ectoparasites, which can attach or stick to the skin of the different animals, cattle like, and sucks the blood from the animals. So these are the different classifications and general characters, and the special characters which are started from this phylum. We have to remember those especially. It is very important in the exam point of view. Okay. In the next video, we will discuss about the classification of arthropods. That is also somewhat more elaborate manner we have to know, because it is divided into several classes, subclasses, like that. Okay. So in the next video, we will meet again with the new chapter, that is Arthropoda. Thank you.